how sweet it is to be loved by you nerds. What is up? It's me, your buddy pal HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. Happy to have all of you here with me tonight on this glorious Thursday before we head into a weekend. Hopefully, like myself, you have a 3-day weekend, maybe a 4-day weekend. Maybe you're like a big baller. You got a 4-day weekend. That'd be awesome. I'm happy for you. This is your weekly Thursday night nerdy talk show where we sit back and relax. I said we sit back and relax. And hopefully by now you've poured yourself a a little bit.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
As we cruise into the weekend, and of course, one more time for Team USA.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
As they head into the next round of the World Cup. So happy for that. And of course, we have July 4th on Saturday. So good vibes all around to the best of your ability. Of course, if you have YouTube channel, podcast, blog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat, support one another, plug yo shit. Like I said, we have a fun episode in store. We, of course, have Supergirl to talk about. I have not seen it yet, but we got to talk about it. X-Men 97. But, of course, without further ado, we'll bring in the man, the myth, the legend. It is me. Yo soy el problema. If I even say that right every week. It's me. Happy to have all of you here with me tonight. Like I said, it's gonna be a fun show. Yeah, whatever you guys want to talk about, of course, put it in the chat. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Despite, world events and all that stuff, I gotta say, I turned around. I don't know if I talked about this last week, but I'll say it now anyway. I turned around on how I was feeling and said, I'm going to enjoy me some World Cup. Despite all the political stuff happening, despite, whatever you believe in or not, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let them take this from me. I'm not going to let them take it from me. And I have been hella enjoying the World Cup as per usual. So, like I said, shout out to Team USA getting to the next round. And I think there's a meme. There's a bunch of memes going around, but there's a meme going around of like somebody like upset, kind of like this. And it's like world governments looking at World Cup fans from different countries, like hanging out with each other and cheering with each other and enjoying it together. Like, one more time for the people of the world, not the governments of the world, the people of the world.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Because that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. And then there's one more thing I have to do, and I forgot. So I'm trying to do it now in real time. So bear with me. Bear with me. I have been asked a bunch of times about a P.O. box. It's come up a bit. I don't know if Dada Films is here yet, but Dada has been on my case for a long time. about a P.O. box. And we finally have a P.O. box. That we do. And I have just updated the show description to now have the P.O. box. One last time to go around.
Specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
And actually, I'll just throw it in the chat too, just so it's easier if anybody was waiting for that. There's one thing I also want to give a shout out about when it comes to the P.O. box, and then I'll start reading the comments because you guys are, as Kenobi says, you guys are on fire. So a lot of times I'll have this unrelated thing occur, right? This thing comes up, something happens, and then it leads to a discovery of something else. Knock on wood, it's never a health thing. And hopefully there's never a health thing to ever be overly concerned about. But it's happened with other stuff. It happened the other day with the truck. Actually, both these stories are with the truck. The first one is there was a noise coming out of the truck. I thought it was a heat shield. I was 99% sure it was a heat shield. The wife and other people were like, your truck sounds terrible. Get it checked out. Yeah. It's a heat shield. I know it's the heat shield. Fast forward, she's like, I'm not driving in your truck anymore until you get that checked out. Fine, whatever. I'll go get it checked out. It's going to be the heat shield. Go to the dealership. They lift the truck up. It's the heat shield. I was right. However, you're not leaving with that truck today because your steering rack is about to go. I was like, every time you go for one thing, it's something else. So for like half a second in my head, I was like, all right, maybe that's something I could fix on my own. But I said, you know what, screw it. It's already on the lift. Just do it. I don't need it to commute. I work from home. So I left the truck. And what was cool about this dealership, shout out to Toyota of Danvers, they send you a video of what they think is wrong, with them telling you what they think is wrong. And they showed my steering rack and oil was everywhere, all over the place. And I was like, all right, let me just look at the YouTube video real quick, see if I can do it myself. And I was like, nah, we're not doing that myself. We're not doing that. So, going for a heat shield, save myself an accident of the steering rack going out at some point. Crazy. Now, going to the P.O. box, when you sign up for a P.O. box, you have to bring them like 2 forms of ID, or two things with your name on it, one of them with your address on it, or one thing with your address on it outside of your driver's license. So I'm like, all right, let me take my my registration, my car registration. Turns out I was about to be riding dirty because my registration was about to expire. And I didn't know that. And I wouldn't have known that if not for Dada making me sign up for the damn P.O. box. So shout out to Dada Films. And shout out to things always working out as they're meant to. In my opinion. I realize I don't have my YouTube lights on. Let's turn on the YouTube lights. Real quick. Talks amongst yourselves. Set the mood right. Now we can start saying hi to everybody in the chat. We got Tony in the house. Good to see ya. The cane is a must as well. The chain is a must as well. Oh, you need to get that. Oh, I hate when Ecamm does that. It doesn't load the comments necessarily in order of when you guys were commenting before the stream went live. So I need to get the suit for Comic-Con with the chain. Yeah. How about if your boy ever gets into shape, I'll try to make a suit happen. But at the same time, Anthony's going through it when it comes to his bat suit. So I might have to find somebody else to make me a suit, because it ain't going to be where he's getting his suit from. I'll tell you that. We got Ultra in the house. Good to see you. We got Dave's Dimension in the house. Good to see you. I'm going to say it again, like 3 weeks in a row. Dave, where are my videos at? I need some videos. I need some mod videos. I need something, Dave. Give me the videos. Give me the damn videos. Let's go. Talking about what you got from ringside. Awesome. You got Cutthroat in the house. Good to see you. We got the Gen X-Wing podcast in the house. Good to see you. I actually want to pull up something. Before I forget, because I wanted to talk about this. And I want to make sure that I have that ready. Just want to make sure. I bought another Ultimate Edition, edition Logan Paul figure. Nice. Read some comics. Comics still exist, my fellow nerds. We could talk about that too. We'll talk about that as well. You know, I'm gonna start a list, because I always like say I'm gonna talk about stuff, and then I don't. I added that to my list. You guys are saying hi to each other. Love that. Thank you so much. So when I made the meme the other day about people complimenting my shirt or my merch and me like forgetting to be a person, it was this shirt I was wearing. The dude was like, "Oh, that's a dope shirt." I didn't bother with, "Oh, pick it up at nerdaffiliated.com," or, "Hey, follow the Real Nerdbusters online." Like, I didn't do any of that. I was just like, "Oh, cool, thanks." And that's what I always do. Every time. Every time. Love that. We're saying hi to each other. Let's go with the lights. There you go. It was Murphy's Law happening to Archer. There you go. We got K-Walk in the house. Good to see you, Kathy. And then we have one of the Ghostbuster modders around, Ghostbusters Plus Collector. Good to see you. I've mentioned him a bunch of times. If you follow us on the Real Nerdbusters on Instagram, I've shared some of his videos, but you guys definitely need to check him out. Especially the by far my favorite mod video. He took the HasLab Ecto 1, converted it into the pre-Ecto. So when they pull up in the movie, it's the black car. I think I've shown it on stream before, but it's the black car. You can't park that here. He converted it to that. Amazing job. On the back of the shirt at the collar, you need a QR code for people to scan. Yeah. I've legit debated that. It's funny. I don't know where the line is sometimes, because you always got to be selling, right? Even Arnold Schwarzenegger said that. But I'm always shy to promote myself in real life. It's like I struggle with it. And even when people ask, like, what's your YouTube channel about? Or like, there's an opportunity opportunity for me to say I have a YouTube channel. I struggle with it every single time. I need to get better at it. That's like my New Year's resolution mid-year. Isn't it crazy we're past the halfway point of this year?
Boo!
That's wild. That is wild. Tony saying hi to him. We got Patrick in the house. Know your craft. Good to see ya. And we got Milda in the house. Good to see ya. Again, everybody, make sure you hit that like button. Let's try that again. Make sure you hit that like button if you can. And also, one of the things I forget to do is mention hit the hype button if that's available to you. And also, I realized I don't even share, like, comment, subscribe, like a graphic in my long form videos. Again, I'm terrible at this marketing thing. Ironically, that's my job. Love that. Love that. All right. So the big news around has been over the last week, Supergirl. And I want to talk about it, but I want to watch a reaction to a reaction and kind of give my take on this. Now, I watched the beginning just to see where it was going, and then I stopped. I don't think we're going to watch the whole thing, but I want to react to a reaction of our boy Henry Resilient. Now, it's funny because even yesterday, I was listening to Henry's channel, and Henry and I disagree on so many things. So many things. But I like the fact that we actually separate that in terms of like respect for each other, being friends, promoting each other's channels, like all that stuff. We're able to like separate the two. But I am also trying to minimize this screen a little bit. I'm also very curious for his take sometime, because while Henry runs a YouTube channel and talks about Power Rangers and talks about other things, there's certain aspects of the nerd space that he doesn't know. The same way there's aspects of the YouTube space I don't know. Like, he'll mention a YouTuber that's like got millions of followers, and I'm like, I didn't even know that person existed. And it kind of goes back to what we talked about before about, you know, hardcore fans versus not. And a lot of us think, as hardcore fans in our respective fandoms, we assume everybody knows everything about what's happening. Not the case. So in this video, Henry is going to watch Comics Explained talk about Supergirl and why he thinks it flopped. So now I'm curious to see what Comics Explained thinks happened. It's going to roll into the comic book thing for sure, because obviously Comics Explained. But I'm also curious to see what Henry thinks as a more casual superhero viewer of things. Hitting the like, and make sure you hit the like down below in this stream. Let's go.
Confirmed that Supergirl has flopped at the box office, and Comics Explained, with over $2.6 million followers on YouTube, had something to say about it. And it's an interesting take that's kind of like going viral in a crazy way, where most people are like, wait, why would you say that? Let's hear his take out.
Well,
fair use. Also, Comics Explained looking like old school HeyArcher with the goatee, blue tank, overweight with glasses. The other thing here, and sorry, I've said quite a few times on stream already. I'll try to stop. Comics Explained kind of took a break from posting because of the backlash from the Blur Without Fear controversy. Essentially, Blur Without Fear, I did a video on it, make sure you check that out, was accusing Comics Explained of being MAGA because he was pulling some of the MAGA-ish cards of, well, I don't like to talk about politics, or I don't need to talk about who I voted for. Like, there's little things that people throw out there where it's like, okay, I know where you stand. Just say it, but you don't want to say it. So he got accused of that. There was some back and forth online with videos. Blurred was kind of doing it to boost his channel. I know that because it boosted my channel It boosted a couple other people's channels who talked about it. And one of the things that people do when they're in a grift is they'll push a topic as far as they can push it because it's going to get views. If it's getting views, it's going to continue to get views, continue to get dollars. Is what it is. Is what it is.
Well, I mean, think about it, right? Which I just woke up, got to get some coffee. I mean, think about it, right? To virtually every Tom, Dick, and Sally in existence, Supergirl is just Superman with boobs. And the trailer for that movie did nothing to disabuse people of that notion. The trailer, the marketing, the whole 9 yards. If anything, the marketing for Supergirl was like, hey guys, here's Superman with boobs, and a little Guardians of the Galaxy sprinkled in. So any casual movie fan out there who saw the marketing for that film was like, I already saw Superman. I'll wait till it comes out on streaming services.
I already want to disagree with that because I've actually seen people online complain that they're upset. And actually one video in particular was from a woman. And she was like, I'm tired of every time there's a woman lead in a movie or in a show, they got to be skinny, blonde hair, boobs, whatever. Next time there's a Superman movie, I want that guy to be skinny, 120 pounds, soaking wet. I want that to be your Superman and see how you like it. That was kind of the direction she was going with. I feel like people complain no matter what if there's a female superhero on screen. I don't think there's any avoiding that at all. And I don't think the marketing is to blame for people thinking, oh, this is just Superman with boobs on screen. I think everybody thinks that because that's kind of how people have always thought about Supergirl or Batgirl or Spider-Woman or Batwoman. Like, it's literally the previous mantle swapping the gender at the end. People are going to think that anyway. So I don't think you could properly blame marketing for that. That's just inherently the character. I could be wrong.
So I wouldn't say ambivalent is the right word. I would say indifferent is the right word to use. But when I say that James Gunn, Supergirl is the least of James Gunn and Peter Safran's problems, I mean, here's exactly what I mean.
Now, before we get into that, let me just clarify, right? Here's the problem with Supergirl in DC Studios, and as he sees it. Supergirl, I have no plans of going to see it in theaters. I wasn't even going to waste my money. The reviews were telling. Fan reactions were telling. And me, I value my time and my money. So I can't be invested in both if I'm not going to be thoroughly entertained.
Right.
And that's the amount of times I've said it on stream and been dragged about it. That is the issue with movies in general. Things are so expensive these days. People work so much and their kids are in a million sports. Like, time, money, energy are a factor. And the theaters are not it. They are not it. And when we talk about the movies that continue to perform, they are movies that like the whole family kind of gets behind. I'm going to get my kids to get in some air conditioning that's free with, included in the price. And I'll bite the bullet on the popcorn because my kid's going to shut up for 2 hours, 2.5 hours and watch Mario on screen, watch Toy Story on screen. All the other stuff, I got other stuff to do. I can wait. And that's why theaters are dying.
Like it or not, Iron Man 1 set expectations like right off the bat, right? I'm Nick Fury. I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. Dope. So everything that we're getting is going to be about the Avengers. And sure, back then, I mean, we didn't have spoilers the way we do on Twitter now, to the point that I've just thought about closing out my Twitter account and sending APOC Horse with my phone number and just be like, send me a text when some shit goes crazy. Like, just don't spoil it, but keep me in the loop, right? So at that point, when Marvel was making movies in phase 1, you didn't really know if they were going to do Thor. There were rumors they were going to do Thor, but you didn't know if they were going to do Thor. Then his hammer lands in New Mexico, and you're like, holy fuck, they're doing Thor, right? So at the end of the Avengers film, we get Thanos. Awesome, they're doing Infinity Gauntlet. And then we get Infinity War in Avengers Endgame. It pays off. Whether you or I or anybody likes it or not, the fact is the Marvel Cinematic Universe conditioned the comic book movie audience to expect that Easter eggs, mid-credit scenes, post-credit scenes the plots of entire films would all go towards a singular purpose, a singular goal.
I don't think you have that with the DC universe. You don't have like some big bad looming in the background. You don't have these side characters that you're like, oh, are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? Yeah, they're going to do Batman at some point. They cast a new Batman, so you can expect that. But who's the big bad that's coming that's going to force everyone to unite against? We already saw Darkseid. So who's next?
Now, look at, James.
But the other thing too that's getting missed here is at that point we didn't have a Thor. We didn't have a Thanos. In fact, most of us probably didn't know who Thanos was outside of Marvel superheroes or Marvel vs. Capcom. Unless you're old enough to be reading the Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity Saga and all those, storylines. The average person didn't care, didn't know. And I can tell you now, people didn't care about Thanos until Josh Brolin showed up in Infinity War. The Josh Brolin voice on the CGI Thanos at the end of whatever movie was that Avengers that he appeared? Like, that didn't do much for anybody. People at that point were like, that's a dope movie. Those were dope characters. Oh, there's this other thing coming out? Cool. The Thanos thing, the Infinity Gems, all of that stuff was like on the back burner in real time then. And the proof is even in Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier kind of operates as its own movie, arguably the best of all the Marvel movies. And in that movie, there's no overall blank. You got extra fan service if you were a hardcore fan, because if you're watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., all of a sudden, one week you have this happening with S.H.I.E.L.D., the next episode comes out, and all of a sudden Hydra's here, and you're like, wait, what? And it's because if you went to the movie, you got the filler for the TV show in the movie. Nothing to do with Thanos, nothing to do with Infinity War, nothing to do with Thor. It was two friends reuniting on the battlefield. And it was an amazing story. So far, I feel like that has not been mentioned. Because also, and then we go to Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy, nobody cared about that movie when it was coming out. People could care less. And Chris Pratt, the dude from Parks and Rec, he wasn't that big when Guardians came out. Zoe, while popular, wasn't that big. Dave Bautista, the wrestler, what? Bradley Cooper was the voice, okay. But Guardians came out, and people weren't like, oh, I got to go see Guardians because of the Thanos stuff. Guardians came out, people at that point were like, oh, it's a Marvel movie that means something. Oh, yo, that movie was actually dope. You need to go see it. And it kept it going because it's genuinely a good movie that so happens to be part of a larger story.
Guns and Peter Safran's DC Cinematic Universe. Superman is a self-contained film. There's no real plot threads that are left dangling there. I guess Lex Luthor will get out from jail at some point and will go after Superman again. Okay, that's not a plot thread. That's just the existence of Superman. That's like saying it's a plot thread that Captain America is going to fight another villain. Like, no, that's just storytelling, right? I don't know.
Batman didn't have a story thread. Batman Returns didn't have a story thread. Batman Forever didn't have a story thread. I won't say the other one. Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, Wonder Woman. All these movies didn't really have a thread that was like, now you need to go see the next one because of blank thing that happened in this one.
Oh, maybe Mr. Terrific and the Justice Gang, possibly Maxwell Lord, but honestly, the movie was a closed loop film. It was self-contained, right? They could have just stopped making movies there and it would have been fine. You go into Supergirl, it's the exact same thing. And then you look down the road at the projects that they're making, Clayface, Deathstroke, and Bane. And the reality here is the only whisper.
I didn't know we're getting a Deathstroke and Bane movie. I'm down.
Of a plan that James Gunn and Peter.
By the way, there's no Penguin season 2, by the way. Spoiler alert on that.
Saffron has amounts to the two of them saying, we have an 8 to 10 year plan. You have to believe me. And the reality is that the audience is not interested in that.
Because there's no big bad. There's no galactic type threat to the DCU.
Yeah.
Who is it? What is it? And with Supergirl underperforming, which is, I would consider it, that's their Captain Marvel or worse. It's not the best outing. Superman will always do good. Supergirl flop. I mean, who was the villain? Most people who go there says he was just a forgettable bad guy with acne.
Because without any real visible indication that a plan is coming together in mid-credit scenes or Easter eggs or post-credit scenes or whatever, then the casual audience out there is going to look at the movies that DC Studio is making, and they're going to feel the same way they felt when Marvel Studios was making projects after Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Just a bunch of shit being thrown out there with no real reason for its existence. Right? Again, the fact is the audience wants a plan. Now, you may disagree with it.
And I'll get to the comments. I think we've truly reached a point. I don't remember who said this, so I'm not going to, spin this as my own original idea. Somebody made a video once, and it was like in a video essay. And they were pointing out how at some point in the MCU, as it was going, because again, the DCEU and the Snyderverse weren't really popping like that, so really Marvel was setting the tone. There was a point in the journey of Marvel in one of the phases where the hero character, or to put it in a relatable thing for Henry and that audience, there was a certain point where a Power Ranger as like a mantle came second to the actor or actress playing the character. I don't know what phase that was, but at a certain point, the actor became bigger than the character. And that is what's happening now with Spider-Man in real time. And that's where somebody like Rob, maybe Rob is so big in that YouTube space that his friend circle are just other hardcores of the nerd stuff. And he's not talking to enough casual people. Because in my personal life, I have talked to quite a few people who are really excited for Spider-Man, and they keep mentioning Tom and Zendaya, Tom and Zendaya, Tom and Zendaya. They don't remember what happened in the last movie. They don't know what's the overall thread. They heard there's an Avengers movie coming out. I think Robert Downey Jr. is coming back. But Tom and Zendaya, oh, they're so cute. Oh, the press conferences are great. I'm going to read you a text right now. Hang on. I'm going to read you a word for word text. Where is it? Here we go. This was yesterday. Can't wait to see Spider-Man. Tom and Zendaya are so cute. So that happened at some point. At some point that happened. And this is a full-on Monday morning quarterback thing. Because last year I was waving the flag of you got to build these characters up so the characters are like pivotal. 2026, turns out that's not the move. We're at the point now where maybe you do need to keep having stars, really popular stars in your projects. Because nobody's like excited for Spider-Man because they're like, the trailers are dope. People are excited for Spider-Man outside the hardcores. People are excited for Spider-Man because they're like Tom and Zendaya are like the it couple. And that's why Dune is going to pop off as well. That movie has everything. Everybody. The Odyssey, probably going to perform very well. Zendaya's in it. Tom's in that too. We're at that point. But if you're only coming from the perspective of a hardcore YouTuber or hardcore comic book person, you don't consider that in the equation. And I think Rob is not considering that in the equation. Unless he says that in the next couple minutes.
may disagree with it. Personally, I agree with that idea, right? But you may disagree with it. James Gunn and Peter Safran may disagree with it. The fairy godmother may not like it. But it doesn't fucking matter. Because whether you're talking about cars or laptops or social movements, it is not the job of the audience to meet you where you are. If you really believe that, then my friend, you are naive. Or you're just a good old-fashioned moron. It is your job to meet the audience and their expectations where they are. And if the expectation of the audience is that post-credit scenes and mid-credit scenes and plots of entire films and Easter eggs and so on all need to exist in these movies to give the indication that they're all going towards a particular event, then that's what James Gunn and Peter Safran better do. Because if they don't start correcting course on this bullshit as fast as possible, I wouldn't be surprised if the indifferent attitude that people have towards Supergirl is the indifferent attitude they'll have towards every one of their projects, where at the end of the day, they'll just say, I'll wait and go see it on streaming services. Whatever. Anyway, that's what I mean when I say that, like, that's their problem, right? They got much bigger problems going on than Supergirl.
They are in the danger zone right now. Not to mention, there is new ownership that has taken place, because now you have Paramount, who owns the DC universe, or DCU, whatever you want to call it. And James Gunn, he actually may be out of a job. The reason being is no one is believing in the direction of the DC universe is going, where they're focusing on individual characters and individual character-driven antagonists rather than having some overarching cosmic level villain. And I get it. You want to branch away. You don't want to be like Kevin Feige or whatever. You don't want to be him. You want to say, hey, look, man, we're different over here at DC. We don't need a big bad to bring everyone together. We can do a good, another Superman. We could do a good Green Lantern movie where it's like, okay, but at some point, is the Justice League going to form? And the answer is
nope.
Maybe. We don't know. We've already seen the Justice League. We've seen the Snyderverse, where people were split on. Some people loved it. Some people did not. Some people liked the Snyderverse director's cut, which was a lot more darker, which I preferred. Mm-hmm. While others was like, well, what was it? Josh. I forget the guy's name who made it.
Josh Whedon.
Who made it all funny. He made it like a Marvel movie. Mm-hmm. I forget his name. But which tone do you like? But yeah, guys, it is official. James Gunn likely will get fired once this merger, I know, was approved. Josh Whedon, there you go. Josh Whedon made the Justice League into like a comedy, like punchlines after every hard-hitting emotional scene, the Marvel formula. So because of him, they're like, well, we need something different. Well, you should have stuck with the Snyderverse, but you didn't. And now you're lost. And now Paramount's going to take over. James Gunn going to be on a job. But let me know what you think in the next video.
Tough. All right. Like I said, we're in Monday morning quarterback territory here. I think overall, people are kind of over superhero stuff, and we might need a break, truly. And I don't want there to be a break, but I feel like as a society, I feel like people are kind of like, all right, yeah, whatever, when it comes to superhero stuff. I do. Because we've had, in the last, 24 months, we've had a lot of good superhero content between, and you could debate how they ended respectively in each show, but between The Boys, Invincible, Daredevil, we have X-Men 97 going, Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, My Adventures with Superman, and then you think about those DC movies and the DC EU, right? Peacemaker, The Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey, Guardians 3, right? If I'm going to tie in James Gunn into that as well. We've had quite a bit of good of like superhero stuff in the last 2 years. A lot. And some of them get greenlit for another season. But for some reason, casual people just, I don't think they care about superheroes anymore. I think they're like in the ebbs and flows part, we're in the ebb. We're in a low point. And it's not even a low point in like things to watch. We had a low point in things to watch when the strike was happening, like what, the year after the strike, as things are starting up again. But I think people are kind of like, casual people kind of like over superhero stuff, unless there's a reason to go see it. And the reason nowadays might just be, is that one of my hairs or cat hair? It might just be star power. We might be back at that stage again. Because I if I was in the boardroom and I was sitting there, I mean, you made Guardians of the Galaxy popular. And Peacemaker season 1 was really popular. Superman ended up being a banger. What do you want from James Gunn? The Suicide Squad cartoon. Great show. Nobody watched it. Except for us. We watched it. Casuals didn't watch it. How do we get that? How do we get people back into it? I don't know the answer. But Supergirl, I feel like I can't put that on James Gunn. I can't put that on DC. From a interest perspective, other than maybe you should have read the room that people didn't want that. Maybe. But then I think about Mortal Kombat and I think about He-Man. And both those movies bombed. So if Mortal Kombat's bombing, He-Man's bombing, Supergirl's bombing, is there one I'm forgetting that also just came out? Super Mario did well. Kid movie. Again, kid. Who knows? But now I'm even more curious to see how Spider-Man performs. Wasn't there Marvel? Didn't something else Marvel come out that I'm forgetting? All right, let me catch up on the chat. Everybody saying hi to each other. Finally went to the movies this year. Oh, what'd you see? Laughing Supergirl. The meta runs deep. Only 4,800. Yeah, for the modified HasLab. I don't have a dog in this race because I don't watch trailers. And I was just going to go. Oh, so you went to go see Supergirl. All right. We got Humpty in the house. Good to see you. AMC, $5. Yep. I think the storyline could have ended better. The legit music and better music. Maybe that's what you're going for. But also, I will say this. One of the best conspiracies I saw when I was watching a review online was somebody was like, you can't tell me James Gunn didn't direct this movie because this movie is Guardians of the Galaxy coded up and down. The way people say something is MAGA coded, they're like Guardians. This thing is freaking Guardians coded. Even the trench coat with the headphones, you know? I don't know. We got freaking Lenny in the house. Lenny, where is my damn new episodes? You haven't made a podcast in 6 months. I checked the other day. Give me my damn podcast. Lenny said, Obsession wasn't driven by kids in free air conditioning. Good movies with strong reviews still have sustainability in the theaters. Maybe it's an exception to the rule. Let's quickly, I won't pull up the Excel sheet, but I do want to pull up Box Office Mojo real quick to see where Obsession is. Obsession is currently at 375 million, which is really good. Modern day. Good movie. So maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Is Obsession the Spielberg one? I wish I can get rid of this thing here. No. What's the... Is it Disclosure Day? Is that the... There's one of them's a Spielberg movie. Anyway. Yeah. Good movie. Apparently. I haven't seen it. Is Megan Lawless related to Lucy Lawless? No. I was like, there's not really a lot of Lawless last name people. So yeah, maybe. But the other thing too, I was talking to my neighbor about this, and his kid wanted to see Obsession and Disclosure Day, and it became cool to want to go see a non-big studio movie. So there's these other factors involved. I'm not trying to take away from Obsession, but I am still saying I think the theaters are having an issue, and I still think superheroes are having an issue. Spider-Man's going to be a really good the other one I was trying to think about. Freaking, there wasn't another Marvel movie. There was another Star Wars movie, Mando and Grogu. Mando and Grogu, the franchise itself became not popular, not cool anymore. If the reviews were good, maybe. I think Supergirl plot was weak, and it could have been better to tie her into another DC movie. That's what I would have done. Patrick says, Obsession was driven by curiosity and couples. I knew no one in the cast, and somehow a quick teaser and online murmur got me to see it. The Avengers rollout worked so well because the nerds who went to watch it from Iron Man to Thor gave it a passing grade. If it started to fall apart earlier, the casual hype wouldn't exist. That's a good point. There's no big bad until Avengers. Yeah, that's like 6 movies and 1 TV show, hoping you care enough for an evil grimace. Yeah. Yeah, I think horror movies have found a way to be successful by executing on low budgets with good direction, parlayed with strong word of mouth to be successful. Weapons and Long Legs comes to mind. There you go. I was just thinking about those 2 movies. 100%. Tom Holland and more specifically Zendaya have proven track record of not just doing blockbusters for the sake of doing blockbusters, but actually being selective in who they attach themselves to. Yeah, certain actors are making certain movies, events, and if Supergirl's plot isn't as bad announced, then casuals would have gone to take a peek instead of online sentiment. Zendaya asking the homies, you want to be, I think you mean in a movie, and just saying sure, and making people come see them. We need some Green Arrow movie that ties in with a crossover with Batman or Superman. I don't know about that. I mean, the Green Arrow show where he had a chance to shine on his own proved to be successful, but you know, I know Marvel has been hesitant with that kind of thing too. Like, America Chavez, who's her character? Was that the character? Not America Chavez. Yeah, America Chavez was the character. The freak was the superhero name in Doctor Strange. Oh, that was just her name. America Chavez. This character. So I can't pronounce her name, so I'm not even going to attempt. She ended up being in Doctor Strange 2, aka Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness, as America Chavez. And she was supposed to be in Spider-Man, but they were like, Spider-Man's just too big, gonna overshadow her. Let's put her in this movie, chance to shine. Didn't work out. So I think if you put Green Arrow in something else, unless he's freaking, that script is on point, ain't gonna work. Because think about Hawkeye. Hawkeye was in everything. People loved Hawkeye. People love Jeremy Renner. Got his own TV show. Who's a casual now? Who is someone that would have seen Supergirl if it was even given a good rating? I think it truly, if they got kids somehow to think it was a cool movie, I think if kids were somehow into it, that would have done it. But I don't think it was marketed as a kids movie, which a lot of us don't want these to be kids movies anyway. And people do argue, well, Batman 89 wasn't a kids movie. TMNT 1990 wasn't a kids movie. But it was still cool with kids. Kids were still into those things. Mortal Kombat wasn't a bomb the same way He-Man was. I would argue the budget was lower marketing-wise for Mortal Kombat, so maybe. But Motu's at 110 worldwide, and Mortal Kombat is at 129 worldwide. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is America Chavez, yeah. Cool. So yeah, what do you think? Let me know. I think superhero movies are just like, I think society's kind of over superheroes. We need a break. I don't know what that means, but if you know the answers to that, let me know down below. And let's go down. I also just realized, like, whatever. I haven't finished editing my Saturday video, and I really should do that. Really should do that. Let's cross off the list. Let's go with the comment made earlier. I should have used the favorite button, and I did not. Again, if you guys have not hit the like button, please do so. Share it with a friend. More importantly, if you can, if it's available down below, hit the hype button. Would greatly appreciate it. All right, so we had this comment earlier. Reads and comics. Comics still exist. Fellow comic nerds. Okay. I think that's good. Oh, I didn't see this comment. Wait. Oh. I was like, did I miss these comments earlier? And then I realized that they're the newer comments. That's why I didn't see it. Didn't Superman do decent? Yeah. Superman crossed the line. It was profitable. I'll pull up the Excel sheet real quick. I was trying to do that last segment to be a short or a YouTube clip. Hopefully it worked out. I want to get better at that. I'm trying to learn that from Henry, actually. Doing a live stream, talking to you guys, but then mixing in content that I can clip out outside of that. What was it looking up again? Superman? Superman. Donde está? Wasn't Superman last year? Yeah, there it is. Okay, going over here real quick, because it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Superman hits 618, and we said it had to pass 450, following the rule of 2. So yeah, Superman did well last year. Fantastic Four also passed profitability. Didn't think it would. Barely. I say barely because it only hit 121. I feel like a stock market person sometimes when I talk about this, because I'll be like, oh man, it came in at 4.4 inflation year over year. We thought it was going to be 4.3. The world's going to end. Or the inverse. It came in at 4.2. We thought it was going to be 4.3. Things are great. And it's like the numbers are so close. Like, what are we talking about? But looking real quick at superhero stuff, over the last year, we'll say year and a half, Captain America hit. When I say hit, I mean it was profitable. Thunderbolts hit. That one barely did. That one was 22 mil. I forgot Karate Kid Legends was last year. I thought it was like 2 years ago. That one hit. Superman hit. Fantastic Four hit. Toxic Avenger did not hit. Tron did not hit. Predator did not hit. Avatar, of course, hit. Stupid ass movie. And then we approach this here. Mortal Kombat did not hit. Star Wars did not hit. Masters did not hit. And then we're at Supergirl. So I got to update these. What filter's on that I'm only getting? Oh, now here's the rest. I was like, why am I not getting this year's movies? It's because we actually are in 2026, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy to think. So yeah. Comic books. The comic book conversation. So this has been a topic in my algorithm for a long time. Shout out to TD, the 3 in the house. Good to see you. This has been a topic in my algorithm for quite a bit in relation to Comic-Cons. I've mentioned it in just my observations, but it's also just come up in general. I got to do something with the backdrop. Like, I just got boxes on the ground, freaking random ass candles on the table. I got to do something about that. This is unacceptable. Random printer. What is happening back there? What is this? What is this? Anyway, can I turn this some more? There you go. Slightly better? I don't think so. Anyway, because they're over there, it's just so random. I got to fix this. Anyway, so comic books in general, right? Right now, the conversation's happening that Comic-Cons are no longer for comic books, really. Like, you go to a comic book convention, people are not going there to buy comics. But now we're at a point where people aren't even going to get like comic book writer signatures, pictures, none of that stuff. That's not what's popular at comic book conventions anymore. They're still called comic book conventions, I think, just because that's what they've always been called. But do people even go for comic books anymore? No. Not at all. And people get upset because I would say comic books are going the way of the movie theater. I think it's a dying industry. And that's not to say I don't respect the industry. And that's not to say I don't want the industry to continue. But at the end of the day, the numbers are the numbers. And I think anybody who runs a comic book store would tell you the only reason they're still in business is because they have other things going on in the comic book store. Excuse me. Tabletop games, Pokemon, collectibles. Pokemon. Sorry. Like, that's really what's keeping comic book stores going. I would like somebody to point out a comic book store and show me an owner that's like, no, my business is doing very well because of the comic books, nothing else. I think if comic books are half your business, that's not only successful, but that's probably rare. It's probably the other things that are keeping you going. I don't know what will bring comic books back. My little cousin right now, big into vinyl records. And vinyl records have been in this also ebb and flow thing for the last couple of years. it was like 10 years ago, maybe at this point where vinyls like really started to pop off. Then they kind of like dipped a little bit. Now vinyls are back again. Maybe there's a point where comic books get to that stage too. But I also don't know how much of a factor the cost of comic books is a factor. I feel like I set the sentence up wrong. But comic books cost you a little bit of coin. As a kid, it was like, you know, I can go buy a couple issues and that didn't put a dent in my allowance at all. Nowadays, comic books, I think, cost you a little bit of money for what you're getting. You also have TV shows. Video games are easily accessible now. There's other things that are just grabbing people's attentions and grabbing the attention of kids. And I say this in the same manner as I say the theaters. I'm not calling for the end of comic books because I want them to end. But I'd be lying if I told you the comic book industry as a whole was doing great, because there's massive interest in it. There isn't. $5 per comic book. I feel like that's a lot. I feel like it's a lot for a single issue if you're expecting a kid to go buy that. Where the kid could take that $5, I think, buy a pack of Pokemon cards if they could even find it. And then maybe there's like a freaking $100 card in that pack, you know, like, I think that's just where people are. I will always respect comic books. We're only here because of comic books. The progression of media got us to where we are now. But it's not to say that older forms of media will continue to exist as things get better, as animation gets better, as AI starts playing a factor in these things. You know, if AI is helping these studios crank out seasons of a show with ease, not saying it's right, but that's just what it is. But once again, we kind of circle back to, are people tired and over? Sorry, I have like a bug bite on my arm. It's like itchy. Are people over superheroes? Because there's two examples where one I would say they are, the other one I would say they're not. I would say people maybe are over superheroes when I look at X-Men 97. And I would say people aren't when I look at the freaking, what's the Marvel game that's online? Is it Marvel Heroes or something? Whatever the Fortnite Marvel game is. People love that game. But when I look at X-Men 97, it is not in my algorithm. And I tried really hard to keep my algorithm as nerdy as possible. And I've seen like 3 posts about X-Men 97 outside myself. Or I should say posts from 3 different creators. But for the most part, I'm not seeing a lot of X-Men 97 reactions. And I don't know what the reason is. Because I didn't see reviews come out before the season dropped. In fact, I have not watched any reviews. Let me see what IGN said about season 2 of X-Men 97. If they've even done one. They gave it a 9. Absolute garbage season. It's not even out. Last season, every show was like watching cinema. An overused plot device where messianic, like a messiah. I've never seen that word. I feel stupid. A figure is prophesied to overthrow the big bad evil villain. They should have canceled the series. I don't agree with that. Bring back 90s Spiderman. I don't agree with that either. Probably should have kept the writer given written 2 seasons. 228, sorry, 22,000 likes. 10,000, 57, 13, 13, 20, 35, 16, 17, 10, 30. All right. So there's been some good traction on that one. I wouldn't give it a 9. First 3 episodes, I don't give it a 9. However, same caveat I gave everybody. I watched the first 3 episodes, but I was also working. So it was kind of like on in the background. I felt like I was missing parts, and I won't spoil any of the first 3 episodes. I felt like as I was watching the first episode, I feel like I missed parts, and I feel like they skipped what would have been fun stories for the sake of like advancing the plot when it comes to the first 3 episodes. A lot of fun fan service in the first 3. But I got to see where it goes. And I need to rewatch it. Definitely need to rewatch it. And I want there to be more of it. I will say that. But so far, leaving the first 3 episodes of season 2, I didn't feel as excited as leaving the first 3 episodes of season 1. It didn't hit the same. But the first season, I think maybe it was just 1 episode because it was at least 2 because there was the Jean Grey reveal at the end of season 1. Or sorry, at the end of the first day of watching season 1. So there may have been like 2 or 3 episodes that premiered then as well. But I don't know. I just didn't feel anything watching it. But I need to rewatch it again. I'll keep saying that. And I want there to be more. But this person is wrong. Somebody here mentioned Bo DeMeo. He's executive producer on this one. This, I think the way he said it when he got fired, he did all season 1. He wrote all of season 2. Season 2 was already in production when he got fired. And then the outline for season 3 was him. But I don't think he wrote season 3. So Bo DeMeo is still very much involved in this season, despite what people may think. Take that for what it's worth. But I don't know. Let me know if you like the first 3 episodes. I could be tripping. And I hope I am tripping. The comments here say good. Unbelievable IGN review like always. Looking forward to seeing how Logan deals with his inner beast. And how he interacts with Aurora and Jean, aka Storm. Maybe hoping to see Victor, IGN Conda for life, trumping hate, and forever Conda. Is this a bot? Like, who writes this? No, I don't know. Interesting review. But yeah, like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I need to rewatch it. Let me know if you enjoyed season 2, the first 3 episodes. Let's catch up on the comments. Tron 3 sucked. Anything Jared Leto pretty much sucks at this point. Yeah. I haven't liked a single Tron movie ever. Still won't watch Tron Ares as they chose not to cast talented underrated actors like Andrew Garfield, Jensen Ackles, or Alan Ritchson for the role of Ares. And they would have done way better. I mean, anybody would have done way better than Jared. And it's not even because he sucks that bad as an actor. It's just read the room. Nobody wants to see Jared on anything. I mean, I heard he was good as Skeletor, but you didn't know it was him as Skeletor. Pretty sure Leto was a major reason it even got made, so they couldn't really cast any of them, sadly. Makes sense. Magic the Gathering for the comic book stores. Comic books are more like a little more than a third of the business. Yeah. Like, yeah, $5. Yeah, a little more in Canada, but still under $8 a book. I think Kickstarter comic books do well over mainstream comic books. But I was looking at the there's that girl, Stephanie something. She's been writing to Daredevil. Like, I think that's the move now. Figure out a way to become an influencer as you're also a comic book creator and become popular, and people will go get your book. Like McFarlane, right? Like, people for the longest time were like, oh, I gotta get the new McFarlane, whatever, whether it's Spawn, Spider-Man, whoever. It's McFarlane, I gotta get it. Like, we're in a new age now where people need to start understanding the assignment, and influencers are popular and they're a thing. And if you want people to read your comic book, even though it's under the Marvel umbrella, post online, talk about stuff, read hate comments. You know, she's doing autograph signings now. She just started. Well, she could have been around for a long time, but Daredevil is her. Let me pull her up. Daredevil writer Stephanie Phillips. 39,000 followers. And now she's doing signings. And this is a scenario where you can't even say, oh, it's because she's a girl, she's getting popular. Because people are shitting on girls all the time when it comes to this stuff. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't have a right to write this. You don't, blah, blah, blah. Like, people complain all the time. But she's kind of like embraced the hate, been very active on social media, promoting the comic book, promoting Daredevil in general. And now she's, doing these signings at like Midtown Comics. There's a post that she did where like there was a long line to get an autograph from her. So maybe that's the move. Like, we need more comic book writers to get active online, become popular, and then maybe their books will sell well. May the Fourth be with you. I have a new Star Wars one-shot coming out in August. She's doing a Star Wars book now. We'll love this. I want a movie with them too, or a TV show or something. But if it's only a comic book that we get, I'll watch somebody talk about it. I'll watch somebody talk about it. The episodes were good for X-Men 97. Okay. Again, if you guys have not done so, hit that like button. I assume you're all subscribed, but if you do see it, hit the hype button down below. They just don't fit well for processing over. Oh, let's try this again, Steve. They just didn't fit well for processing the overall story of the last season, but I want more. Only 3 episodes are out. All right. I'm glad somebody else feels that way. Cause I don't know. I was telling, Sal, Anthony, and Aaron, I was like, I'm watching episode 1 and I feel like I've missed something, and I've hit rewind. I kept going back, and I'm like, I feel like this is written as though something else was supposed to have happened beforehand, and we just didn't get it. Like, I feel like episode 1, again, no spoilers. I feel like episode 1 tries to, when season 1 finished, I'm trying to explain this without giving any kind of spoiler, even though I guess there was not much to spoil, but season 1 ends and we've established that Cable has been sent to the future. I think. I'm pretty sure that's what happens at some point in the end of season 1. The X-Men get sent to the future and the past, 2 different teams. In the first episode, they're like trying to wrap that up. them being sent to the past and the future. And I'm like, shouldn't this be the whole season? I'm not going to tell you if they wrapped it up, but that's what they're writing it like they're trying to. Like season 2, episode 1 feels like what season 2, episode 10, whatever the final one would be, should be. And episode 3 feels like what episode 1 should have been, in my opinion. But I still feel like there's details missing. So we'll see how the season plays out. But I don't know. I just feel like it's tough without discussing it. But it feels like there was some sort of comic book or some sort of web series that took place between 97 season 1 and 97 season 2 that I just missed. And there wasn't. I'm also kind of tired of the soundbite of Bishop being like, we got to get the X-Men back to 1997. Kind of over that. Legacy of Nerd in the house. Good to see you. The countdown is on to SCCC. Opening teaser for the Marvel BAER. What is that? Was good though. Teased 90s Spider-Man. I will say it again. I don't want a Spider-Man 1994. I don't. Because I just thought the show ended in such a great way. If it somehow gets people interested in Spider-Man again and like they can somehow make the storyline great, sure. I just don't trust them to do it. X-Men 97 has proven that they can, but it doesn't mean I want them to. TD said, comic books have to find a way to tap into the digital market. In 2026, I listen to guys who explain the stories more than I read the books. Same. And on top of that, Anthony was doing comic reviews here on the channel. And he stopped because he's like, I got to go to the comic book store if I want to buy the latest book. If I'm subscribed to the Marvel digital store, why can't I buy the new issue digitally at the same time that it's physically released? And it was also frustrating for him because he's like, I want to do a review about it, but I'm going to have to like scan the pictures and do all this other stuff or wait until a digital release comes out. And at that point, interest is gone already. So the fact that they're fighting the digital wave, it's a problem. But snowball effect, right? Like they were fighting the digital wave, but now they're fighting the AI wave. You know, and now we have we should talk about the PlayStation 5 thing, you know, digital only. So I don't know. I'm watching 97 tomorrow after the gym in the morning. All right, cool. Lenny said, Spotify has music videos and album art. Why couldn't they do something with comic books similar to audiobooks? Yeah, that'd be cool. But they should also be released digitally the same time they're released physically. Unless they've solved that and I missed it. Eric Schultz is doing good writing the Spawn comic books. Oh, Erica. Cool. Don't know who that is. Didn't know there was still an active Spawn book out there. Embarrassing late. No, man collects. Chris, you're never late. The cheers is also for Legacy, also for TD, and anybody else that came in after the fact. Great to see you. Bingo, streamline the process. Yeah, exactly. But let's end this talking about the PlayStation issue. Because it kind of all goes together, right? Like embracing the times. And I feel like in some ways, you know, we try to fight the future and it's like you can't. You can't. I don't see it on the IGN page. However, they posted this yesterday. Xbox's Project Helix reportedly won't have a disk drive. According to new reports, Xbox may be moving away from physical media with the console currently known as Project Helix. So the big news in my algorithm yesterday was PlayStation 5. Oh, here it is. Sony ending disc production for all new PlayStation games from 2028. And a lot of people have been pissed off about this. Understandably, people who still believe in physical media have been very upset about this. I will never shy away from this. I've said it to you guys before. Letty knows this because we used to work together. I have not been a big physical media purchaser in the last decade. I couldn't tell you the last physical movie I bought. Couldn't tell you the last physical music, anything I bought. At all. Steelbooks really started to grow in popularity in like 2014, I want to say, 2016, somewhere in there. And I developed an appreciation for them when I had iTunes and I was uploading heavily all my stuff to iTunes. This was decades ago, which is sad to say out loud. But I was loading my stuff from CD to iTunes back in college. And at some point, they updated the album digitally and therefore updated the version of the album I had. And I lost the version I had, the version I wanted. Really pissed off about that. In fact, that should have made me say, I am pro physical media. But even that said, you know, I've been all digital. This week I bought Blues Brothers 1 and 2 on digital. I was gonna say I told you guys about it, but I didn't. It's in the video coming out on Saturday. So I bought Blues Brothers on digital this past week. It was on sale. And I think part of the reason I'm also okay with buying random things digitally is, once again, thanks to Lenny, he introduced me to Movies Anywhere. So if you buy something digitally on one account, it automatically unlocks on all of your accounts. That said, no such thing exists in the video game space. So if you buy Ghost of Tsushima digitally, you have bought it from Sony in the Sony store to play on your PlayStation. If for some reason Ghosts and the company who made it gets into a beef with Sony and they say we don't want to like renew a contract or do whatever, there's a possibility that you can't play Ghosts anymore. And that goes for all the games. Because as the digital landscape changes and people understand recurring revenue is the move, there may be a possibility that games follow the suit of movies, where if a movie's on HBO today, it doesn't mean it's going to be there tomorrow because of what HBO pays them in residuals. We could approach that with video games, where video games are like, we're going to let you have it digitally, you keep paying us for it. Oh, we don't like that money anymore. Now we're pulling it. It's possible. It's not happening now, but it's possible. And that could translate into, if it's not going to be in your PlayStation store anymore, you also cannot play it on PlayStation. Once again, we're not there. Doesn't mean we won't be. And then, of course, there's the obvious things of I lost internet because of a power outage. I can't even watch a movie because I can't stream. I can't play a video game because I can't stream. Like I said, the obvious things. Now, I'm all for choice. So I wish we could continue to have physical media and video games be an option for those who do want it. For those who don't live somewhere with this high-speed internet, maybe you work on a boat in the middle of the ocean. I would like for you to still have the physical option. But the reality is, as things continue to get more expensive, these companies are just going to keep trying to find ways to cut costs. And if they're going to figure out a way to save a couple bucks by not having an artist design the book holder or the case and the art around the case and a box set with the statue, and they don't have to pay for a statue anymore. Like, if they're going to find a way to cut costs, like, that's just what they're going to go for. It truly is. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. Nothing we can do to stop it. I forget what I was watching, and I don't remember if it was related to photography or not, but the person was talking how the younger generation now are all about physical things because they've grown up with digital being the exclusive way to consume things. And the younger kids are like, oh, what's a record? I've never heard of that before. What's a cassette? Never heard of that before. Oh, that's cool. I want to get it for the experience. Like, we're kind of like going back to that. It would take some sort of, I think Sony, for example, would have to release a game and the digital sales be abysmal for them to say, oh, we were forecasting this amount. We didn't get it because people straight up said, if I can't physically buy it, I'm not buying it at all. I think that's going to be the only way you get them to say, oh, shoot, we should really do physical. Only way. But if that's not the case, like GTA 6, if there's no physical GTA 6, I don't think they decided on physical. I know that they said that they weren't going to do it, and then people got pissed off, and then I think they were reconsidering it, but I don't think they said they were going to do it. But like GTA 6 would have to like bomb. It would have to be the worst selling GTA game of all time for them to say, like this person here said, physical media or bust. Like it would have to be the worst selling game of all time for them to say, whoa, physical is important. And I don't think that's going to happen. Don't think it's going to happen. So many. What's kind of exciting talking about GTA 6, people are already kind of scheduling streams to go out like on launch day and weekly and daily streams and all that. It's kind of fun to think about the thought that there's somebody out there, there's a couple of people out there in the world that are nobodies. And when that game launches and they start streaming it or they start dropping videos on it, they're going to become a somebody. Whether it's in the YouTube space, TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is, they're going to become somebody. I feel like I almost scrolled into a House of Dragon spoiler, and I'm glad I didn't see it, and I'm going to scroll up so I don't see that. But it's a fun concept that there's somebody out there who's going to load up GTA 6, start streaming it, start making content about it, and their life's going to change. 1 in a million. 2 in a million. 3 in a million. Who knows? But it's going to happen to somebody. And that's fun to think about as a creator. We'll catch up with the comments before we wrap today's episode. The new James Bond game is good for PlayStation. Yeah. I heard it was good too. I hope they don't get rid of I hope they don't get rid of disk drives. I hate digital media. I love physical media. It's funny. I was emailing a company today about wanting to be partners with them. And I pulled my analytics for the channel. And based on how old all of us are, yes, the nerd affiliated chat is all about physical media. I don't think the iShowSpeed chat or the Kai Cenat chat are about physical media. But like I said earlier, kids are getting into different aspects of it, whether it's records, film cameras, etc. I have a huge movie collection, but I stopped buying them years ago because it takes up too much space. That's the other issue. Digital sounds good till they yank your library. Yeah. And I've not had that yet. Thankfully, I've not had that yet. The day it happens, though, or like the day, I am tempted to buy a couple movies. I think I said this on a stream before. I'm tempted to buy a couple movies because I don't want them to ever have a special edition and then the version I like is no longer the version I can watch. I don't want an OT Star Wars situation happen where I like what I like, the music, the crappy graphics. I like that. All of a sudden they come out with a new version and now that version that I used to like is gone forever. I don't want that to happen. Yeah. Physical quality is still definitely better though if you just have the right setup. Sorry. Physical quality is still better. One more time for the people in the back. Physical quality is still definitely better though if you have the right setup to justify it. Yeah. All about physical. Yeah. This all really started with the Switch 2. Yeah. Sony wants to tie your license to the console. Sony wants to have you connect via DRM every 30 days. Sony wants you to pay more because the cost of RAM costs them. I will be on my Steam account. Yeah. That's the thing too, man. People talk about, I don't like to be political. I don't want to talk politics, whatever. And then you got stuff like this happening, and everything's tied together. RAM, AI data centers, it's all tied together. I watch a decent account of GTA RP these days. I think there will be a lot of people who getting. I watch a decent amount of GTA reposts. Is that what you mean? These days, I think there are a lot of people who will end up getting big once GTA 6 comes out. Yeah. Agreed. All right, let me do one last scroll of the internet. In fact, I'm going to check out Legacy of Nerd. See if he has posted something that we should discuss. There's a new Power Ranger comic book that came out. I was listening to his video and then I fell asleep because I was listening to it as I was going to sleep. So I got to finish that. Oh yeah, he talks about that too. DC is reportedly prioritizing the Deathstroke and Bane movie. Interesting. Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah. But I want to know what you guys think about all of that. I feel like today's episode was it was a very looking to the future type of episode because we talk about physical media, we talk about superhero properties, we talk about comic books. And in a way, I feel like sometimes what we enjoy is just very dated at this point. It's just not popular. And the companies that do sell these things and do make the money, they see what works, they see what doesn't work. And the things that we like, maybe they don't work because we're not out there supporting movies and going to the theaters and buying enough video games physically versus a $10 sale on the PS store, I don't know. But I think it's going to be a wrap for today. Once again, the P.O. Box is live. That is in the description. I need to send out some Ghostbuster cards for sure. I'll be doing that this week. And I'll be sending some people my P.O. Box so they can send me some Ghostbuster cards. But yeah. Like I said, hopefully you're enjoying the World Cup. Hopefully your team is still in it, even though we're down to 16. But yeah, I'm loving it. Loving it. Let's do a jumping off of that real quick. We haven't talked toys in a little bit. Just want to look at Mondo. They haven't uploaded. Sorry, they haven't updated really a lot here because of Comic-Con coming down the pipe. Yeah. But man, I just typed in Mondo. The Superman figure, watching those reviews, I'm like, damn. This thing. This thing looks good. Regrets? I've had a few. As time goes on, I'm wondering if the Avengers Superman / Justice League Superman, Tim Daly, and then I'm forgetting who did Justice League, but 2 different voice actors. A lot of people don't know that. I'm starting to wonder if this version of Superman is my Superman. In the same way that Kevin Conroy Batman is my Batman. Like when you tell me Batman, it's so dusty. When I think Batman, it's always this iteration of Batman. Always. And I think as time goes on, even though I love Christopher Reeve, I think this is my Superman. I think that's my Superman. I would love to know what you guys think about that. Has this version, even though we've had no new media in a long time, when you think Superman, what version immediately comes to mind? Hey, we got Josh in the house. Hopefully you're safe and doing well. Happy belated birthday to Josh. Yeah. Let's go to Big Bad real quick. We haven't been here in a long time. Oh, wow. This Phoenix figure's on sale. It's only $5 off. Good figure, though. You know what? Let's see if anything new with Mondo is on sale for them. Wow. Joker's still in stock. Batman's still in stock. Freeze still in stock. Is there a sale button? Figures. I don't see a sale button. No, looks like more or less the same. Nothing new on sale. Man, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. That too is my Superman. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. Definitely animated Superman right there with animated Batman for me. Yeah. Looks like a lot of McFarlane on here. Look, if you have a fresh $4,000, you can buy this statue. That's how you know we've made it. If I unbox a statue that's $4,000, $5,000, but I haven't said that I made it, understand I've made it. Understand that's what that means. I'm just going to switch off so I can log in. Because what I do is I have stuff in my cart, and then the cart pricing adjusts for sales. Samurai Jack went up $1. That sucks. Someday Gohan will be on sale. These turtle figures, I do want them. Patrick did an unboxing of these. Check out Craft Collects, and they looked great. But I've seen them on sale for like $30-something. So I'm definitely going to wait for that or lower. These Conan Super 7 Ultimates, again, amazing. But I'm going to wait for a lower price on those. Star Trek, wait for a lower price on those. All these prices dropped. 37, 32, 30, 31. There's been some good price drops. Still debating this guy though. Still debating this guy. Sorry. Man. I mean, that's my version of Mr. Freeze. Hands down. Bar none. All day. Slime time in the house. Good to see it. Oh, man. I don't know what's going on. Crazy. Crazy. That cart looking hefty. It's not an active cart. It's that they give you the save later option. Man, sorry. And I love that. I have the same thing for Amazon. I have my save later there. Storm Arena. Has there been any new announcements there? I have a Kuma on pre-order. Have you guys seen this? I don't know if it's on their site. Man, I don't know what's going on. This might be the greatest con exclusive ever. And by the way, this is dope here. This Michael Knight and Kit from Ramen Toys. $359 on Big Bad is wild because there's only like 2 something, I think, with ramen. Pre-order start in June. $350. Wow, sold out. It's sold out. Wow.
A hobby show to introduce to you guys our Knight Rider in 1/12 scale.
You see that? I don't want copyright on the music. that's all the music. All right. That looks sick. And the fellas were talking about, you know, it makes
Close it like that. So the headlights are activated by pressing onto the suspension.
I'll wait for the ad to play so you can watch this full thing. Oh, here we go.
Lights are activated by pressing onto the suspension. You can notice that there is suspension on the vehicle on the front as well as on the back. Another cool feature of the car is
That's a great use, by the way, of something like suspension. Because why else would the toy need that? That's great use. Amazing.
the rotating license plate. Okay, so kit comes with a remote control to activate the model. This remote control is powered by 2 AAA batteries, and kit itself is powered by 3 AA batteries as well as USB-C connection. I'll be using a USB-C connection to demonstrate how the model works, and with that I'll be using a simple power bank with the USB-C cable supplied. So when we first plug in the power, the whole unit will just light up for a few seconds and turn off. And that is the initiation stage. So to activate for the first time, we simply press the on button and kit will initiate.
I am the voice of Night Industry 2000's microprocessor, KITT for easy reference, KIT if you prefer.
Control panel will light up, but nothing else lights up. See, there's no backlight and there's no front lights except for the scanner. To turn the lights on, you simply press the on button one more time and the light comes on. You press it again, the light goes off. Similarly for the back, you press it one time, the light comes on, the other time the light goes off. The interior features a LCD panel that's fully lit along with the modulating voice of KIT. The accelerator pedal is also lit, and the TV screen is actually a lenticular sticker that displays 2 images when viewed at different angles. As mentioned, the whole unit comes with the 1/12 scale action figure.
Oh, God. Okay, so before we continue here, the guys were saying that there's no way this thing's worth the price because McFarlane was giving us vehicle and figures for $100. Same time, gentlemen like myself was over here trashing the Hasbro HasLab. Do I think that $300 is excessive for this vehicle and figure? Of course. However, lights, sounds, figure. Didn't get that from McFarlane. Barely got that from Hasbro. Just saying. That looks dope.
Normal mode, and we will now transform KIT into the Super Pursuit mode with the touch of one button. Ready?
It's automatic. It's automatic. Oh my God.
Once the Super Pursuit mode transformation is completed, we just simply use manual to open up these intakes. So to add the final touches, we're going to employ the emergency braking system for KIT, which is essentially just putting your hand underneath the hood and just activating this part right here. And to complete the look, of course, for the emergency braking system, simply deploy the rear brakes. There are a few voice features for the model as well under mode here. So when we press the first time, it's actually the sensor, the sound of the sensor. Press it another time, there's a different sound effect.
You seem to be repositioning my main power booster.
And finally, one more time would be.
Right away, Michael.
So you can cycle through this like that.
Right away, Michael. Right away, Michael.
And then finally, when everything is done, we can turn off the model.
Kit signing off.
And everything turns off. Again, to start up, this is what you hear.
I am the voice of Night Industry 2000's microprocessor. KITT for easy reference. Kit if you prefer.
Alright, so finally, again, I'm going to return this into normal mode. It's as simple as that. And it's fun as well. And guess what, guys? Even without any...
There's more? Are you saying there's more? But wait, there's more.
battery. If you have no battery whatsoever, you guess what? Kit still works. So that is the presentation and how our 112 scale Knight Rider with figure works. Pre-orders is opening on 5th of June. It is a one-time limited production only. Support the Knight Rider, and we look forward to delivering this to you in Q2 of 2027. Once again, I'd like to thank Factory Entertainment for this opportunity to collaborate on this project. And from me, Ace here in Shizuoka Hobby Show, that's it. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Sick. Shout out to Ace, man. Like, here's the thing. Giving Hasbro, $300 for a vehicle, excessive, right? We could be like, all right, that's a lot. Big company, you could do it for cheaper, even though there's various costs there. People don't like to acknowledge that. But then you got this guy running this company, solo dolo. I mean, I know he has a team, but solo dolo partners with this other company to bring together this vehicle here. Ace has definitely talked about tariffs being an issue. He's definitely talked about that. But, God, the detail on this thing. The detail on this thing. Amazing. And it, like we said, it's sold out. $350, it's sold out. Did he put up the other... He did not. So this van was very popular as well. The Engine of Vengeance, whatever the version, the Ramen Racer, and this van were probably the two most popular things that he made. And let's go over to JB's channel real quick. JB was at Joe Fest. And he went to the ramen booth. Where is it? Here we go.
So we're here at Ramen Toy, checking out some newer vehicles from the Ramen Toy guys. We got the Dukes, generally, Cowabunga, and then a news van. This news van, now, the Cowabunga looks good, but that news van is crazy looking right there. And then we got a Mega Tank, and there's actually the neon camo tank as well. Got the Gullwing and the Marshall. Now, if you guys haven't seen this, I mean, I know the video is pretty good, but you guys got to see it in person. Look at that. And then another 100. And then tomorrow, we are going to have Michael Knight, Kit, Knight Rider, the prototype, is going to be here tomorrow. So, and then you see Ace over there talking about the general, or the ramen racer turned into the general, or the general league. But someone just made a comment that they need it a little bit more dirty, and I think that's a good way for you guys as customizers to add your effects to it, because a lot of people that have been getting, let's say, the Rev and the ramen racer, they customizing it, because that was my idea, is to get a Scooby van for the Rev, but I still haven't done it. But you can see here how great it looks. Now, if you don't get the vehicle itself, and these aren't final, Ace told me earlier he's going to be working on a little bit of the color, but he wanted to have something tangible for you guys to look and see, and a little bit of rework and retooling. But I think you guys are great. They look great. So yeah, again, Ace Ramen Toy team doing their magic right here at Joe Fest 2026.
That is a sick effect right there on the cannon.
Doing their magic right here.
Look at that. Look at that. That is amazing.
At Joe Fest.
That is an amazing effect.
Fest 2026.
Deep in the research.
Yeah. Yeah. When I see that when I look at the ramen racer stuff or the ramen toy stuff, I think the buy it once, buy it right scenario. Those vehicles, man, depending on what setup you're going for, you buy those, do you need another one? My only issue with the van, when it comes to the News 6 van, the turtle one, Sub Rogue Demon, I would want them to go with my NECA figures, and I don't think they scale to 7-inch. I think it's more of a 6-inch. That would literally be the only complaint. But you could still have it there next to the 7-inch figures, and probably not. The average viewer wouldn't tell a difference, I think. Amazing job. Ramen Racer, Ace over there, he does great. And I think as time goes on, I didn't even get to show you guys what I was trying to show you. I forgot how we got there. I'll get to that. As time goes on, we have said numerous times that we're going the direction of buy it once, buy it right. And seeing some of the stuff that Ramen puts out, it solidifies that idea. There's certain things now that, if I see it and I know in my heart of hearts, that is the idealized version I've always wanted, we're going to get it. All the other variants and stuff, do we need it? Not really. But if that's the version I think of every time I see that character or think of that cartoon, gonna have to do it. As long as the display and the wallet align. Also, talking about cartoons that they're not talked about enough, and the superhero stuff, Batman Cape Crusader. I don't see that trending ever. And it's an amazing cartoon. Where is this thing? I thought Toy Shiz would have had this. It should be here. Should be here. Should be here. Right? No? Okay. Here we go. This might be the greatest con exclusive I've ever seen. The loose character sculpts to go on your existing Jada Toy Street Fighter figures. Didn't even know I needed this. I don't have any Jada figures. But man, remember when NECA used to do this? NECA used to have the accessory packs they would release for the Turtles. I don't know. Maybe the profit margin's not there. But Jada doing this one for San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, amazing. Amazing. You get 19 head sculpts, it says. And what's great is that if you don't have it, you don't have this. But if you do get a chance to have it for your display, a plus, a bonus. And that's what Comic-Con exclusives need to be. Comic-Con exclusives need to be variants that if you don't have them, your collection doesn't seem incomplete. But if you do have them, bonus points. I saw this and was like, oh, this is my favorite Fast and Furious car. Yeah. Like. Yeah. Yeah, the clips from the first movie, I was so mad when they blew it up. It is my favorite Fast and Furious car. Which is crazy because now, like, Fast and Furious is not about the cars. And it's kind of sad because I feel like coming out of the first 3 movies, people were like, always talking about, oh man, I wish I had that car, this car. Like, that's, you left every Fast and Furious movie talking about the cars. And now you don't. Which is kind of weird and kind of sad. Is what it is. Steve in the house, good to see you. As we wrap this episode. Appreciate all of you for coming by and hanging out, of course. And if you guys see Supergirl, let me know. You know, is it actually good? Is it not good? You gotta let me know down below in the comments. With San Diego Comic-Con coming up, are there any exclusives that so far you've seen that you're interested in? Of course, let me know. And if you ordered the Ramen Racer Knight Rider vehicle, of course, let me know. Steve, you got to go back in time and watch the review on or the video premiere on that one, video preview on that one. Definitely worth more than McFarlane vehicle, that's for sure. But HeyArcher Live every Thursday, 8:15ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. Every Saturday we drop a long form video, usually 3D printed related. This week it's a Ghostbuster mod, so hopefully you enjoy that. Enjoy the 4th, enjoy the games this weekend. Of course, like, comment, subscribe, and talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. I'm out of here.